I'd known, if I had known for just one moment you'd be gone. It's not okay, we weren't alone. Lost in your eyes, Paris night skies, both hypnotized.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. So, straight off the bat, we have a gremlin report. I've got no sound, but I believe that you guys can hear me and you heard that video and you can see me, hopefully, which is all good. The only problem is maybe later on in the live stream, if we have a fill jam or anything like that, I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to hear it or not, but we will get there when we get there. As long as you can hear it and see everything moving, then that's the most important thing. So it's just a little bit weird sitting in silence and especially at the end of that video trying to judge when the music stops and when I can interrupt it, and just watching the sound bars kind of go down, and I think, right, is that it, or is there a bit left? Anyway, hello to you guys in that live chat room. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday night. Who do we have in there? We have Dee, Daisy, Terry, Dwayne, Chris. It's gone through too quickly. Let's start a little bit lower down. Tammy, Ro, Diamond Girl, Melissa, and Ninja, Kitty, Corey, Angela, and Christian, and it's gone through again. So Thank you guys for tuning in. It's just moving a bit too quickly for me at the moment. But yeah, great to see all of you in the live chat room tonight. And we are going to be jumping into getting the names of my patrons up on screen as always. And while I do that, quick update as to what happened. Where are we? Yeah, so on Sunday, yeah, it was the final of the Euros. I was just thinking where we are in terms of which day, because, yeah, we live streamed on Saturday night. So therefore, yeah, the next day was the England final. And unfortunately, England lost. And it was expected, so it wasn't actually too bad. I think it probably would have been worse if you genuinely think that your team's really good and they're going to win and then they lose. But yeah, that wasn't, well, I say that wasn't the case. Our team is really good, but unfortunately it's just the tactics aren't quite right for the players that we've got. So yeah, we lost unfortunately 2-1 to Spain, and the manager, Gareth Southgate, has resigned today, and he's been in charge for, I think they said 8 years, something like that. But I've said on the live stream before that in the last European Championships, which I think was 3 years ago because of COVID, they had it in a weird year, but we got to the final then as well. And we lost that one because he didn't put on the attacking players at the end of the match when the opposition were tired. And it's exactly the same this time. So unfortunately, yeah, the tactics, he's a very defensive manager, and I think just likes to have clean sheets rather than going out and winning a match. And this is the problem, that you're never going to win anything ever if you are reactive. You've got to be proactive, and that's a good thing for life as well. That, yeah, if you want to win something, you've got to go and win it. You can't just sit back and hope that the opposition make a mistake and then you win through default. You know, that's never going to happen, especially in football. So yeah, a bit of a shame, but it is what it is, and we'll see who the next manager is going to be for England. And we now become record holders as the only country to get to 2 European finals in consecutive championships and lose both of them. So there you go. We're in the Hall of Fame for failures in international competitions. So never mind. It's going to be the World Cup next, and I'm just hoping we get a manager who is going to use the attacking force that we have, because yeah, this manager was really defensive, and we've probably got the best attacking players in the world, so it just didn't make sense to what's even more stupid is that we scored, I think in the 85th or 86th minute, when he brought on an attacking player, and that happened in exactly the same scenario the round before. He waited until right at the end, put on an attacking player, and we scored. So you think, well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to think, well, what if you do that earlier? You might score more times. But it wasn't to be, unfortunately. I think I share the same view as a lot of the country, that yeah, he's just not quite the right fit for the players that we've got. But he's a great person I should say people person, in terms of keeping morale up and all that kind of stuff. But it's just the tactics that he doesn't, in my view, quite understand. I play football at quite a high level. I've done a lot of coaching as well when I was younger, and yeah, there's certainly something not quite right there with the coaching of the players that he had. So we'll see who the next manager's going to be. But yeah, like I said, World Cup next. Fingers crossed for that one. Right, so, by the way, yeah, big shout out to my patrons at the bottom of the screen, because they make this all possible. Just the analysis videos, the live streams, everything that I do on the channel, they are the foundation of everything that I do. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. You know who you are. Let's get the likes goal up on screen and see what we're aiming for tonight. It is set at 460, that says, and it almost looks like 480 on my screen because it's a little bit smaller, but it's definitely 460. So yeah, we're looking for every single thumbs up we can get in order to hit the target for tonight. And if we hit that target, as always, we're going to be having a jam at the end of the live stream if I can hear everything. If I can't hear anything, then it might be a bit of a disaster. So anyway, yeah, we'll get there when we get there, if we get there, we're looking for as many thumbs up as we can get. And let me get the likeometer up on screen. We have 254 likes so far. So thank you guys. Hit that thumbs up. That means we're looking for another 206. That's the number that my brain has just thrown out there. So that's the maths done for tonight. And I don't know whether... Did I do this before I started? Oh, I think that's a little bit too close. Oh, it went forward too. Yeah, so what generally happens is this camera is set at a particular distance where it's framed quite well, but then for the fill jam, I zoom out. But that was maybe already zoomed out, and then it zoomed in ×2, and now we're back to ×1, where it normally is. So, yeah, it just looks a little bit weird on my screen. So, yeah... 460, that's what we're aiming for, and I can see that there have been a couple of donations so far, so thank you guys for those. And this is the point at which I say you don't have to donate, just watching is great. Introduce yourself into that live chat room, maybe hit the thumbs up. And oh, Joe says 155 for the Phil Jam, so let's make that correct, and I think it is now. So yeah, thank you for that quick update, Joe. And yeah, back to those donations. You don't have to donate. Just watching, yeah, is great and fantastic and all those good words. And yeah, if you could hit the thumbs up, that would be great as well in order to get us closer to the likes goal for tonight. But the people that can't resist donating, I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below, as well as a link for the spring.com store, the merchandise, if you want to go and grab yourself a hoodie or a mug or a hat or tumblers and glasses and all other stuff over there, then you can do. So we will be having a Troll Corner fans. We'll be having one of those later because we have a couple of troll comments hot off the press that have happened today, and we're gonna, I think, just one picture for the picture corner for tonight. So yeah, we'll have a quick picture corner and maybe a quick troll corner as well. The other thing hot off the press is that on the video that I made, I think it was Dua Lipa and Cyndi Lauper when I was comparing their performances at Glastonbury this year, there was a comment under that. Well, actually a couple of comments. And it was from, at least the comment said that it was from Seal, the singer. And I don't think it was an official account name. It's just something that I didn't recognize. So with messages, I do get a lot of messages that are people saying that they're other people, but they're not actually those people. And yeah, this particular comment, the person, or Seal, was talking about how he records and how he lays down vocals on a project that he'd worked on recently. And I think there may be 25 replies to that, saying that they really loved his music, all that kind of stuff. So I did send Seal a message on Instagram, and this is something that I don't know how this happens or how this does happen nowadays, because for some reason I can send people messages like just instantly on Instagram, so with official accounts, and I don't know whether it's because I'm a verified account that I've got the tick on my Instagram, but anyway, it means that I can message anybody. So I messaged Seal's official channel and just asked him if he'd left a message on, actually there were 2 messages or comments on that video, and yeah, to my surprise, before the live stream tonight, and this is why I was a little bit late setting everything up, yes, Seal said, oh yeah, that was me. So yeah, he said that he'd love to have a chat at some point, and we'll try and organise something this week. So we'll have a chat about, live performances, backing tracks, vocals, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was a very pleasant surprise. I mean, Seal's music and his voice, again, it's one of those voices of my childhood and growing up, and yeah, Kiss from a Rose, and Crazy. You know, there's so many huge hits that he had here in the UK, but I'm sure that's the same everywhere around the world. So yeah, it was great to make contact with him, and yeah, he's just sent me his. It's a little bit strange because he just sent me his mobile number and just said, yeah, just give me a call later on in the week and we'll organise something. So yeah, I'll probably just message him. Obviously, I'm doing this live stream now, so I did say to him that I'm about to live stream, so I'm going to have to maybe send him a message tomorrow. But yeah, what I remember from, you know, back in the day when I was trying to, you know, message people about, you know, my music and, you know, just trying to get in contact with anyone, it was an absolute nightmare, just trying to get through to anybody, sending off emails, all this kind of stuff. And yeah, it's just strange that now it's just literally a message that I do on Instagram. And I think it must be the verified thing, because there's no way that I'd have been able to do that before. And this is the same thing with Steve Stevens, you know. I just sent him a message on Instagram and it goes straight to him and then he replies. So yeah, I'm not sure whether that works, or you get to a particular point and then, you know, maybe the internet says, oh, you are now well known enough that you're allowed to message people directly. So I don't use Instagram a lot, so I don't know exactly how it works, but maybe that is a factor, the authentication thing or the verified thing, I don't know. So anyway, as always, I'll let you guys know over on Patreon as to what's going to be happening with that, and it'll probably happen later on in the week. You know, I'm pretty busy as always, so I have said to Seal that it's going to be either Friday or Sunday, and yeah, I'll send him a message tomorrow and see what we can come up with. But as always, you guys over on Patreon will be the first to know anything that's happening, what is going on, and when I organise that. Because I'd like to, I know that it's going to be a very relaxed chat, and I think Seal just wants to talk about, you know, the industry and, you know, auto-tune, pitch correction, and relying on software in order to produce vocals and that kind of thing. Certainly in his comment, that's what he's mentioning about, you know, recording a vocal and recording harmony lines, and the project that he was working on, the younger musicians couldn't believe that he was singing it all, rather than singing the main line and then getting the computers to do the harmonies, so that you just take the voice and move it to where you want it. But he was actually singing his own harmony lines, which, when, you know, when you're listening to songs like Kiss from a Rose, if you did that with either even pitch corrected vocals or auto-tuned vocals, it's not going to work. There's got to be, as I always say, imperfection. Imperfection makes a perfect voice, a perfect sound, because that's what's going to connect with an audience. So yes, especially in that song, if that was all like Talkbox, you know, A440 standard pitch, equal temperament, like playing a keyboard, if that was all calibrated, you'd lose everything. So yeah, anyway, he did mention that in his comments. So yeah, it'd be great to have a chat with him. Obviously, yeah, I'd like to kind of film it and get it up on the channel as well for you guys to see. So yeah, we'll have a chat, but I'll let you guys know as soon as anything is organised. Right, now, even though I say that you don't have to donate, just watching is great. I can see that there have been donations, so thank you for this, Orlando, who's donated $2, and the message is, hit that thumbs up button, Paul. So yeah, great idea. If you could hit that thumbs up, that would be great. And Paul has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is still growing. Wow, 391,000 subscribers. Let's keep growing in this happy place. Spike those likes, all y'all. Hey, Orlando. So yeah, thank you for that, and for reminding me that I did change it. We have now hit 391,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing, hitting that notification bell. You'll need to do that to get notified for all of my videos and the live streams as well, and anything that I do on the channel, such as, you know, future chats with people and interviews and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, 391,000 subscribers, which is an amazing number. We'll keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. I believe in the last live stream we were at 390 and we just crossed over. So yeah, that's another 1,000 in what, a couple of days, a few days. So I'll get rid of that. So things are, yeah, certainly growing quickly on the channel currently, but it always goes, you know, in peaks and troughs. Sometimes we go up by quite a lot and then it levels out a little bit. So I'm sure that that will happen. But it's great kind of while it lasts. But this audience is probably fine as it is. But if more people start watching, then that's great as well. Especially, you know, musicians and producers, music professionals. I do get a lot of comments from people who, you know, are active producers and people that are in the music industry and working on live shows, for example, and are familiar with what I'm talking about with backing tracks and auto-tune vocals and mixing in vocals with pre-recorded vocals that have been recorded for live. So yeah, it's great to get those comments from professional sound guys as well, because yeah, they just clarify and say, yeah, that's what's happening, and they can testify that, yeah, a live show will be a live show with everything already set up, so that if the vocalist wants to miss particular notes, then that's all done in the backing track, that they can have particular notes in there that might be, you know, the high note, for example, so then they don't have to worry about hitting that, kind of take the whole stress out of it. So yeah, it's good to hear people's points of view in that professional sense as well. So right, we're going to be jumping into the PayPal window because there have been some donations in there, and thank you guys for these. First of all, we have Carolyn, who has donated £25, so thank you for that, and that was on Monday morning at 51 minutes past 7, so thank you for that. And then we had another donation. Actually, this is what looks like a CD order, so thank you for that, Paul, followed by what looks like another CD order. That's Angela, thank you for that. And Nicole has donated £12 as well, so thank you for that, Nicole. And Nicole's message is, hello Phil, I'm learning that you went to Brazil. Have you seen the giant Christ in Rio? Impressive. Corcovado, I'm not sure what that means. And now ready for new live stream. Love and rock always. So thank you for that. And no, I haven't been to Rio, and I haven't seen the, you know, statue of Christ there. I think with Rio, it's very difficult. Well, the people that I was visiting weren't in Rio anyway, so that's half of it. But from what I've read here in the UK, it seems like Rio is more of a, I don't know, hotspot for crime and people looking out for I was going to say, you know, looking out for tourists. The problem that I've got is that I have a very particular look, so I think I might stand out if I were to go to Rio, for not only the way that I look, but the whiteness of my skin. It's a bit of a giveaway that I'm not in the sun all the time and that I am from England, therefore we don't get a lot of sun at any points. So yeah, I think I would stand out, but I didn't go to Rio. It was just Sao Paulo is where I landed, and then if I can remember the places, it was Sao Paulo to then somewhere else, and I can't remember the name. All I know is that it's a very Brazil type name, or should I say Brazilian Portuguese type name that is very difficult to pronounce. But yeah, that's where I recorded the Broken Wings cover video that I did. So I took my camera over with me just to get a little bit of footage from there. I was going to say a little bit of work done, but it's not really work, but it was still a good opportunity, I think, to shoot some footage for a cover video. So anyway, thank you for that, Nicole. And Lisa W has donated £5. Thank you for that, Lisa. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on 391,000. How is the arm rehab going? Any chance for golf in your future? Are you able to do resistance training yet? Playing guitar for too long probably aggravates it some. Best wishes for complete healing and soon. So thank you for that. And yeah, so the rehab, I mean, what I've found is I mean, I'm probably talking about 6 or 7 months ago now. If I was doing any excessive tapping on the guitar with my right arm, well, my right hand, because with the tapping I used my second finger and my third finger and sometimes kind of alternate between those two. So I found that when I did that, and maybe I was playing guitar for half an hour or an hour, the next day I would kind of feel it a bit. So it was obviously something that I then thought, right, I won't do as much tapping, which is all right. You know, tapping is just kind of mostly subconscious anyway, and it's just to mix things up from a speed perspective, so it's not that you can't then consciously play. So I ruled that out. I probably around 5 months ago, something like that, I played the piano or keyboard for about an hour, maybe longer actually, and then the next day I had problems. Actually, it was even worse than when I played guitar. So there was something about stretching out the hands, because I haven't got very big hands anyway, is stretching out to the octaves that I think aggravated it. So I then ruled out that and thought, right, I'm just going to really take it easy. So that's what I've done over the last kind of 6 months. Then I had my scan. The consultant then said that, yeah, there's some damage to the ligament and tendon, so it's actually 2 issues, which is good, because it means that I now know that where I'm feeling the pain is sometimes kind of in the joint and sometimes underneath, kind of back here, that's the tendon and that's the ligament on the top. So yeah, I know that there's 2 issues. And since the scan, I've then been to the physio, who's looked at my scan, and it's basically golfer's elbow is what they call it, a medial epicondylitis, I think. And yeah, I've now got the physio exercises I do with, I'm now up to the resistance band, the strongest one that you get, which is a black coloured one, or at least that's what the physio told me. So I've worked my way up to that, and now I'm doing kind of resistance rotation, you know, with the wrist in order to try and kind of strengthen all of this up here. So yeah, I do that every day. I have a red elastic band that I do kind of 4 sets of 22 reps on that. So I do that every day. And I have another black elastic band. And this is what the physio said, is that playing golf is such a unique movement that I should start using golf as physio. So hitting a ball really lightly, because the impact of hitting a ball, that's what would just always set it off. And actually last Thursday, was it? Yeah, I got to a point where I thought, oh, I've done too much, because I kind of felt something in my arm, and I thought, oh no, am I going to go, you know, back to the beginning and set myself back 3 years, which is what it's almost been. And yeah, I was feeling, you know, borderline very depressed about going back to the start of another 3 years. But then the next day it actually felt okay and not as bad as I was expecting. Then the next day it was fine. So that was then Saturday, and then Sunday was okay, and I was getting back into the physio, and then yesterday was okay, and then today is okay as well. So I think what might have happened is that golf of just hitting a ball lightly and kind of gradually building it up, I probably reached the limit, and it might have been a good thing that that's where I need to get to, and then over the next few days it gets stronger, and then I get to that point again. So yeah, I feel like I'm still kind of learning where the limit is, but I certainly feel like with the physio, and now I've got a golf club that I attach an elastic band, or a physio elastic band to, and it's a golf club handle, so it isn't actually a full golf club. So then I grip that and I push against it as you would do with a swing, because that is going to work exactly what went wrong with it in the first place. Because I think I did it first of all playing golf, and just felt it and thought, oh, you know, it's just something muscular. But then I'd go and do a workout and do, you know, pull-ups and chin-ups and bicep curls, and I did that for about 4 weeks, not knowing that it was actually damage. I was damaging the ligament and tendon with all of that working out. So if I'd just played golf and not done the working out, it probably would have been fine. But yeah, I then degenerated over 4 weeks with very heavy lifting. So yeah, that's why it's taken so long to come back. And that's something the physio said, that given that it's been so long, and on the scan they can still see a little bit of damage that is still there. She said, yeah, if you'd started or come to, the physio before, like a year ago, a year and a half ago, it would have been worse damage. So it has healed, but it's kind of just where it is at the moment, and we've got to finally work through what I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, is the final bit of physio, so that if I can just build up things really slowly in the controlled manner with this golf handle and build up that movement so that that's now strong. And if that's strong, then that's what caused that first issue in the first place. So if I can get to that point, then hopefully, I could get back to doing a little bit of golf, but I would like to get back to doing some resistance training because, I haven't done it in 3 years. So I'd like to kind of get the body back on track because, it's certainly something that I have missed. But thank you for that, Lisa. So there you go. You're bang up to date with my arm, and I do wear the support because the consultant said to wear that overnight, but I also wear it during the day, and I generally take it off for the live streams to give the arm a bit of a rest, and then I put it on after the live streams as well. So it's pretty much fixed up for the whole day, and I use ibuprofen gel as well to stop any inflammation. But the physio did say that thankfully that there weren't any signs of inflammation either on the scan or when she kind of had a look at it and kind of felt around before. I think there was some fluid or something that was in there that was part of inflammation, but she said that that's all fine. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be okay, and hopefully we've turned a corner, and it's going to be just 3 years. I say just 3 years. I'm very much looking forward to just having a normal arm again, and it's almost like I can't even imagine what having a normal arm is like, because it's always been there in the middle there and at the back here. So we will see. But anyway, thank you for that, Lisa. And we've had another donation from Tammy, and this is £10. So thank you for this, Tammy. And the message is: Hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 391,000 subscribers. How do you balance the need to make a living as a musician with a desire to create music that is true to your artistic vision? So thank you for that, Tammy. And I think I've already had that question. I think that was a few weeks ago that we had this exact question, and I think it was from Tammy. So thank you again for that, Tammy. But I won't answer the question again. I think what I said was that making money from music is all that I really set out as a goal, and it's quite easy to stay with your artistic vision. Because if you're just doing what you enjoy doing, then that's the most important thing. And don't try to make music for other people or what you think other people will like, because you're never ever going to succeed doing that. Just stick to what you do, and therefore you'll enjoy it. If nobody else does, at least you're having a good time. So thank you for that, Tammy. And Debbie has donated £10. Thank you for this, Debbie. And the message is: Hi Phil, congrats on 391,000 subscribers. I loved the Anita Carter analysis. Stylistically, how did Lennon and McCartney's songwriting differ from George Harrison's compositions? Thanks, you're amazing. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And I think this is certainly something that George, with his writing, but I think more than just writing, it's like your personality, your beliefs, the kind of music that you want to make. I think that George had other influences in there that were from other cultures, other backgrounds that John and Paul weren't really a part of, or weren't interested in, or as interested in. So writing wise, that's always going to push you in different directions, because when you're writing at that kind of level, it is like a personality in a song that you're hearing. So I think George certainly had different influences, but then John and Paul, from a young age, I think spending a lot of time together. When I say that, I mean when they were together before the Beatles became huge, and before the band became huge, they'd watch different artists, and they'd use other artists as influences to them, but it was something that they were kind of watching together. And obviously everybody's individual. Everyone's got their own influences, but it strikes me that maybe John and Paul had more of a collective influence, or at least there was there were artists that they liked together, and therefore when they wrote, they could bounce ideas off each other, and that was just how it went. And I'm sure that George and Ringo would get involved as well, but I think very much that writing focus would have been on a particular set of influences and a very particular sound that they were going for. And for example, choosing harmony lines and composing songs that went to different places, and it wasn't just a simple kind of intro, verse, chorus, but mixing up the order of things, and sometimes having different sections that they'd go off into that you didn't really know where you were in the song, whether it's the chorus or middle eight or the verse, but that's just the way that they did it. So I think it was actually, and I've said this in an analysis video, probably more than one, that the Beatles were like a perfect storm of musicians, because you had Ringo, who's a drummer, who did everything back to front because he was playing a right-handed drum kit but left-handed, so it was everything that he was coming up with was unique because he couldn't help it. That's the way that he played, and any other drummer would have maybe conformed more to doing particular fills that other drummers were doing, and maybe not having the same kind of sound that Ringo did. So anyway, just from a rhythm perspective, you've got that on the drum kit, but then George Harrison having that vocal ability and compositional ability, as we know, but having the ability to put in ideas and things that obviously John Lennon and Paul McCartney, they would welcome ideas, and it's not as if George is going to come up with an idea and it's going to be absolutely awful. They're just credible musicians, and technically good musicians as well, which I've said about George Harrison as well. His lead playing ability, but all of the guys could play their instruments and they could sing. So you had this perfect storm of just great musicians and great songwriters and just great technical ability at playing live. And this is it, being able to harmonize with each other. Like I said, that perfect storm of having everything that you want in a band and them all excelling at doing those things, because being in a band isn't just about being great at your instrument, because that's not enough. You've got to write some great songs, and you've got to be able to perform the songs live. Well, especially back in the 60s when we're talking about having to do it live without pitch correction, auto-tune, all that kind of stuff. So you had to be able to do it. So they just had that ability. But anyway, we could be talking about the Beatles all night, but I will move on. So thank you for that, Debbie. And Steve has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, how much of a song can people who sample the works of others steal before it becomes legally actionable? So thank you for that, Steve. And I think pretty much anything that you're using that you don't own, if it's recognizable, then that's as far as it needs to go. So if you have a particular riff, say for example, I put the riff from Seven Nation Army in one of my songs, and it went dum 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 dum, and then I say, oh, but that's my song because it's only 3 or 4 seconds. Then I'm sure Jack Black would say, well, Jack Black, Jack White, my brain is just thrown in, because I'm sure Jack Black is the actor. I just had this image in my head that threw up the wrong image. I thought, well, no, that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jack White. So anyway, back to I'm sure that Jack would have a problem with me taking that particular riff. So there you go. There we go. Well, I almost put Jack Black in the White Stripes. So there you go. Which, to be fair, I have actually done an analysis video with Jack Black, performing, because he's got a good voice, he can sing well, and he's got his own kind of style, And for that particular video, yeah, we did run his vocals through the pitch monitoring software. And yeah, it was Pick a Destiny. Was the movie that he was in. And yeah, I think I saw an interview with him, and Elton John was another guest. And Elton said to the presenter, it might have been the Graham Norton show, but he said, just for everybody out there, Jack is a proper musician, because I know that people might see it as a little bit light-hearted, but this is the reason that I pointed it out in that analysis video, is that, he's playing guitar, he's singing, and you can't do that kind of thing to the level that he does it without being a solid musician and having practiced for a very long time, in your youth. So yeah, that was an interesting one to look at. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked from Seven Nation Army talking about Jack Black rather than Jack White. So yeah, if I took that riff and then said, oh, I'm using that in my song, but just that little bit, so I own it, it's recognizable. So you can't do that. So a very small section, unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, but for people that might want to do it, unfortunately, they're going to find that you can't just take somebody else's riff or, lyrical content or anything that is recognizable from another song. You need to get permission first. So thank you for that, Steve. And Gordon has donated £5.40. So thank you for that, Gordon. And that is a straight up donation. And Tracy has donated £5.18. So thank you for that, Tracy. And the message is hair update, please. So the hair update is, I don't think I need a haircut yet. It might be getting close. I'm getting away with it. I don't know whether you can see the length of curl that we've got going on here. So that's probably the reason that I can see at the moment, because it looks like if that were straight, it would be over my eyes. But it just pops up to wherever it decides to curl. So it looks like front on that my fringe is quite short, but is just an absolute gamble. It's random as to what happens, whether it's in front of my eyes or not. So at the moment it's being very convenient and curling out of the way. So thank you for that, Tracy. And Laura has donated £7.40. Thank you for that, Laura. And the message is, hey Phil, what is the oddest instrument you've heard added to a rock and or southern rock band that actually sounds great? Example is flute with Jethro Tull and the Marshall Tucker band. Thanks for all you do, Laura. So thank you for that. And I mean, generally, yeah, flute does work really well. I'm trying to think of weird instruments that have been in rock or metal, and I know that certainly nowadays with heavy metal bands and bands that have a lot of production value, then that they are bringing in backing track elements and having lots of different sounds on there. But I think generally it's always been strings and organ, keys. There's always been that kind of element in kind of hard rock and metal, kind of just filling in the sound in the background, especially under the guitar solos and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to think of, nothing really that I can think of off the top of my head that I've heard and thought, oh, that's totally random or weird. I think generally anything that's well played and tastefully played, it doesn't really matter what the instrument is, there can be a place in whatever composition it may be if it's relevant. And this is the point about playing guitar and guitar solos and any instrumental solo. It has to be relevant to the composition. It doesn't really matter what the sound is, but yeah, it's got to keep that relevance. Now, what is the sound at the beginning of Sledgehammer? Peter Gabriel with, what is this called? But I know that it wasn't the actual instrument. He was using the keyboard or the sample sounds in order to get the sound. It was a sample, but it's almost like I don't know what the instrument's called, but almost like something that you blow through that is Australian, something. If anybody knows that instrument, it's not going to come to me, but at the beginning of Sledgehammer, and I know that that's a sample sound that they used on the song. So it wasn't technically somebody playing it, but Pam K36 says didgeridoo. Karen says didgeridoo. Joe says didgeridoo. So maybe that's what it's called, a didgeridoo. So yeah, that sound, there you go. That's but again, that sound is something that still works because it's just that by itself, and it leads you into the song because you haven't really got anything to compare it to, and it's a cool intro to a song. You know, it sets the mood, and you don't really have a tempo, so you've got nothing to base it on. But there you go. I suppose that's a valid answer. What's the oddest instrument you've heard added to a rock? I guess, is it rock? It's more kind of pop rock, I'd say, Peter Gabriel. But yeah, certainly, if you're talking about his earlier career, you could say that he's definitely in that rock genre. And that's what I'm going to go for. My answer is a didgeridoo, which sounds like, yeah, it could be quite a good answer for that question. But thank you for that, Laura. Right. Karen has donated £3.70. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, congrats on hitting 391,000 subscribers. When you hit 400k, do you fancy having a bit of milestone celebration? How about at 500k subs? I know you're very busy, but take time to acknowledge your accomplishments. Thanks for bringing us so much. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And yeah, generally, if there's a milestone, I'll just do a post on Instagram or something. But yeah, I am aware that there are a lot of subscribers. I don't really see 400k as something, like 250,000, 500,000, and then maybe 1 million. Those are milestones that, yeah, I think are probably good to. Well, maybe 100,000 as well, because then you get the silver award thing from YouTube. But yeah, 400,000 is just a great number, but it's just another number. I don't really attribute anything to that in order to do a celebration or anything. But thank you for that, Karen. And we have another donation that's come through from Susan for £20. So thank you for that, Susan. And the message is, happy Tuesday. So glad I can join the live stream this week. So welcome, Susan. Thanks for tuning in. Right, we are, by the way, having a vote. I haven't even mentioned it, and it's just gone 10 to midnight, I believe, here in the UK. We haven't even mentioned about the. Oh, Karen says 500k is 500,000. So when I say 500,000, what I mean is, not the 400,000. But yeah, the 500,000. I don't know what I would do. I think if I hit 500,000 subscribers, I'm going to be even busier than I am now. So it's trying to think of, what would you do that doesn't mean that you have to stop doing what you're doing, because that's the reason that things keep on moving forward, is that you just have to keep on pushing forward. I think with YouTube, unfortunately, as soon as you sit back, like I said, I missed a video once on a Friday, and it took between 2 and 3 months to get back to where I was before that. So if you miss a video, YouTube it is very strict. So I just have to keep on pushing forward, and we'll see where we end up. But that's what I really focus on, is just keeping everything organized in order to do the live streams when I do them and make my videos when I make them as well, with the occasional kind of bonus interview video that we might have now and again. So Sweet Emotion, I can see, has 57% of the vote, so we might be jumping into that relatively soon. And we might jump into it now, because we've still got Troll Corner, Picture Corner, and how are we doing on our total that we're aiming for? We're looking for 34 more people to hit that thumbs up. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. Then we'll bust out the guitar and have a jam at the end of the live stream, which is closing in. So first of all, we'll jump into this cover. Let me bring that to a close in the live chat room, because I think it's going to be Sweet Emotion. Oh, and Susie says, regarding Sledgehammer, it's not a didgeridoo. See, the problem is, I'm not even sure what a didgeridoo is. But the thing that I'm imagining is like a really... Oh, actually, it's definitely a wind instrument, and the thing that I'm imagining is like a really long tube that they blow into, but that might be wrong. So if that's a didgeridoo, then it might not yet be that. So I'm going to have to try and maybe look this up at some point, unless somebody comes up with something in the... Oh, Mimi321 says it's a skidamarinkadoo. Nan says it's a shaku. It's moving, so I can't read it. Shakuhachi, does that say? Or sakuhachi? Sakuhachi, I think. So, Susie says it's a flute. Oh, right, so we're getting lots of people saying lots of different things. Right, let's jump into this cover video. It's myself and Chris Law, who also joined me for this particular cover video, and it was Sweet Emotion that won out. So let's have a look at this, and I'll see you guys after. Rock!
1, 2, 3, 4.
And there we have it. So that was myself and Chris Law with our version of Sweet Emotion. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And for those of you who haven't been watching for a long time, Chris was in my first proper original band called Panic Attack. So yeah, many years ago. So yeah, we just teamed up on that. I don't know how long ago that particular thing was, but yeah, we decided to have a go at doing that and just see what happened, and that's what happened. So thank you guys for voting for that particular cover video for tonight, and we are going to be jumping into the PayPal window because there has been a donation from Vera for £7.40. Thank you for that, Vera. And the message is, "Hi Phil, come on Phil, how about a winger cruise for a 500,000 celebration? It will be lots of fun. We won't let you down, and you can live stream from the cruise ship." So thank you for that. And yeah, I'm sure that hiring a cruise ship is not very expensive at all. So thank you for that, Vera. The other thing is that I'd have to keep making my analysis videos while on the ship. So yeah, and I'd keep on having to do my admin on a Monday and a Thursday. So yeah, I'd probably be forever in my cabin doing all the planning and making sure if I could actually get an internet connection that I had to keep it all going. So yeah, thank you for that, Vera. And Connie has donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Connie. And the message is, hi Phil, Skidamarinkadoo is a children's song. Peace, love and rock, Connie. So thank you for that. And it's a song that I've never heard of, so maybe it's an American one. I don't think I've ever heard that, like not even with my nephews singing different children's songs. Yeah, so I've never heard that one before, but thank you for letting me know. So right, we're looking for 6 more people to hit the thumbs up. If you could do that. If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, that would be great. And then we'll have a jam. But it is midnight here, so we need to jump into quickly Troll Corner. We'll do that. So I will get through these quickly. The first person earlier today said, sorry, you're not qualified to have an opinion on Rory Gallagher. On one of my videos that I did on Rory, and I think I was just explaining techniques in that video. But the thing about an opinion is that you don't need to be qualified, actually, technically, with anything to have an opinion. Everybody's got an opinion. So yeah, and I did reply saying, well, I'm not sure how to qualify to have an opinion, but I did say as well that people have asked me to make this video, so obviously they're asking me for my opinion, so that's how the videos work. So anyway, the next one was, I had a really long message from somebody saying about how, it was on one of my covers, it was Don't Stop Believing, and he said that I wouldn't hold a light to Steve Perry, back in the day, and my voice isn't as strong and all of this kind of stuff. And then I just, said that, well, it's just a cover. And Neil Schon, who actually wrote the song, contacted me to let me know that he really liked my cover. So I said, as long as he likes it, that's the most important thing to me. But then anyway, I got another reply, and this was humongous from this person, saying about that, I'm talented, but what I need to do is this and what I need to do is that. And this is the thing that people who give me career advice always say. They say, the music that you're doing has been done, and it's old hat. You need to come up with something new. And this is what I say to people all the time, that you shouldn't be trying to make up some kind of music that you're not passionate about. Again, trying to record music for what you think other people might like. You're never going to do it that way, because there are people who are coming up with something new because that's their direction, that's them as an artist. They're not generally trying to say, right, what do you like? Oh, I like this. Okay, well, let me do that. And then, what do you like? Oh, I like that. Oh, but that's the opposite of what this guy likes. So what do I do between these two people? It's never going to work. So yeah, and this is the other thing that I did link him to my website, and on the website I've got people saying things about my music and about me, and then he replied saying, yeah, but where's your record deal? And I think as soon as people say that kind of thing, that I know straight away that first of all, they're probably of the older generation, maybe grew up in the 60s, 70s or 80s, where record deals have always been the same thing, but they've had this kind of a perception of being the thing that you need, even though it's just a loan, like going to a bank. That's all a record deal is. So asking me where my record deal was, I then let the person know that I'm independent by choice, because I make a living from my music and I own my music, so I get royalties because I own the publishing to my songs. So when they're played on the internet, such as in my live streams, then I get the royalties. I get a percentage that is actually shared with the copyright owners of the cover video that I do. So yeah, every live stream that I do, is copyright claimed by Phil Henley. And it's quite funny because I get an email from YouTube saying your live stream's been copyright claimed by, Wings of Pegasus, because I have a publishing company that look after all of that. And whoever owns whatever the song is for that particular live stream. So anyway, I said to the person that, I have offers quite regularly through email about people wanting to get involved. And of course, this guy said that I need a manager and I need to do this, and then maybe you'll get a record deal. But I tried to explain to him that getting a record deal isn't what I want, and it's not what I need at the moment. I'm absolutely fine, and I've achieved the goal that I set out to achieve, which was to do music full time. So I'm quite happy with that. So I don't feel like I need to do anything, especially somebody else who thinks, oh, what you need to do is this. And then you think, well, I'm actually doing okay. If you look at the subscriber count, a few people are watching my videos and therefore going through and checking out my music as well. There's always through traffic, so that's great. And maybe if whenever I go onto their YouTube channel, it'll be like 30 subscribers or something, and they're telling me what I need to do in order to do what? To get how many subscribers they've got, or how many album sales they've had. It's very, very difficult. But I do get that kind of comment, from people thinking that they need to tell me what I need to do. So I say, well, I'm quite happy doing what I do, and I just keep on doing it. So anyway, enjoyment is the most important thing. So if you enjoy what you're doing, then it's very easy to keep going and do what you do because you enjoy it. So there we go. That was that. And the final one, somebody said about a Bon Jovi video that I did where John was, I think, 50 or around that kind of age. He said nobody can sing like they did when they were younger, when they were in their 50s. And that was it, because I was saying, in that particular performance had been pitch corrected after the fact. I think that was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, it might have been. So anyway, this person was saying nobody's voice will be the same. So then I replied saying, well, you must have missed the video I did last week on Roger Daltrey's voice. He was 80 singing in the same key. So he must have missed that one. But again, it's all about vocal technique and, looking after yourself. And singers who have great vocal technique will maintain a lot of their voice, especially in their 50s. When you maybe start getting to, 70s and 80s, then it can be more difficult. But, like Roger has shown that you can do it. It's really just about vocal technique. So anyway, yes. That's Troll Corner for tonight. So let's get out of here. And Sue has just donated $9.99. Thank you for that, Sue. And the message is, you are doing way better than okay. You're killing it and should be so proud. We're all proud of you, and we don't even know you, with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Sue, for the kind words as well. I mean, the other thing is that the person that made that particular comment said, oh, I could name drop with people that I know, but that's not how I, roll or whatever. And I mean, just today, for example, someone like Seal messaging and watching my channel and commenting on my videos, you think, well, that can't be bad, that he's seen what I do and he's enjoyed it or liked it to a point where he wants to talk with me and he wants to have a chat about the things that I'm talking about. So if those kind of artists and musicians are respecting what I do, then for me, that those are the kinds of opinions that I do rate quite highly, and higher than somebody who just says, oh, what you need to do is this, and they've got, I don't know them, I've never heard of them, and it's just I don't know, just a standard YouTube account, and somebody who isn't a multi-platinum selling artist or vocalist or band. But if you get those kinds of people then contacting you saying, I like what you do, then I'm absolutely fine with that. Those kind of people, I think, probably know more about what's good and what's bad. So yeah, if they like it, and yeah, if Seal likes it, yeah, that's absolutely fine by me. So anyway, yeah, I'll let you guys know when we've organised something for the future over on Patreon. Now, Picture Corner. Let's jump into that quickly because we're running out of time. And I'm not sure where this is going to show up. And it has made it to the middle of the screen. So, we are going to be having a jam, by the way. But anyway, this is a picture of the wings of Pegasus glass, of course, and a hummingbird. And, let me see what this message is. It's from Cindy. So thank you, Cindy, for sending this in the messages. I used a Wings of Pegasus pint glass as a base for a hummingbird feeder. It took multiple attempts to photograph the ruby-throated hummingbird in flight at the feeder, but I was finally successful. So thank you for that, Cindy. So a bit of a nature corner in Picture Corner for tonight. So thank you for sending that one in. And I think that's the only picture for Picture Corner tonight. But yeah, certainly it is an animal-friendly channel, so it's good to look at merchandise with different animals, with a hummingbird. And yeah, certainly if there are any animals in the garden, I do like to look out and see what's going on, because yeah, I think for some reason it just is relaxing to look outside and just watch nature and you know and see kind of birds flying around and robins and maybe drinking from a water fountain and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the birds, obviously, not me, because that water's disgusting. Yeah, it has to be replaced regularly. But anyway, just thinking, yeah, you don't want to drink out of that. So anyway, thank you for sending that one in, Cindy, and Laura, thank you for linking me to that. Let's get rid of that, and hopefully this should come back to me. We are going to be jumping into the Phil Jam. Right, I have to remember what I'm doing here. So zoom out, check. Mic on, check. Actually get over to the track. Here we go. Click on the link. Yeah, we've got a problem here because I can't hear this. Can you hear the advert? If you guys can hear the advert, then you can hear more than me. So, yeah, I can't hear this, unfortunately. I'm trying to think of what I can do to get this to work. Okay, right, let me... I'm going to try something, and it's going to be... Right. Okay, right, you don't hear anything. What I'm going to do is potentially disastrous. I have to disconnect everything and reconnect it so that my interface resets. So this is what I'm going to do, and if it's the end of the live stream, then it is, but I'm going to put this up on screen, so let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to try and do this, right, and we'll see if it's successful. So hopefully back in a few seconds. Okay, 1 2 1 2. If you can, let me know. I'm here. I'm kind of hearing something. Right, let me get rid of this for a start. Right, I can kind of hear something, but I'm gonna have to. Right, it's coming through. Good. Right, and you can hear me. You can see me. It's okay. We are going to be Phil jamming. Phil jamming. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Right. Let's grab this. Right. Have I done everything right? Oh, hopefully the interface is still working. Right. Let's have a test of the guitar. Did that come through? A little bit heavy. Right. We'll play through this. As for levels, who knows? I'm going to take this back to the beginning. Oh, how long is it? 5 minutes. Right. Let's get into it. First of all, this is cool, dreamy, melodic rock backing track in E minor from YT Jam Tracks, and that's YT capital letters. Let's have a listen to this. Can you hear this? Oh, advert. Let's skip over that. Oh, it says, oh, backing track too quiet? Or me too loud? Can't hear backing track. Oh, man. Right, okay. What can I do here? Right, so... let me stop that. So could you not hear the backing track? Backing track's too low. It might be that the backing track, maybe if I start the whole thing again. Right, oh, what I should have done is, right, I'm going to click on that, and that's going to be an advert. Click on that, copy the address, close that down, go to another window. I'm thinking that maybe I just have to restart the window in order for it to come through. This is all conjecture, by the way. I don't know whether this is going to work or not. What? Maybe it's just a really quiet backing track, which would be a bit of a pain. Let's go down to... Oh, maybe I can sort out my... wiring. Oh, where is... Right, let's go to loop back 2 and have a look at this. It's wanted to install an update. Not the best time. Right, let me have a little scroll down, see whether it's taking in. Okay, right. Take that up to there. Okay. Can you hear this? Very low. I'm not sure what these levels are like. I'm just going to play. go clean for a little bit, see what happens. Waiting for it to end. Oh! You probably can't even hear the backing track. But I got the ending right. That's when it was ending, and now I have to quickly jump out before the end. I don't know what the level's like, and this is always the problem. Usually we get away with it for some reason. Yeah, well, we were having sound issues, so maybe that was part of it. But yeah, I don't know what the levels were like. Maybe it's just all guitar and nothing else. But there you go. That was Phil Jam number 155, and that was cool, dreamy, melodic. I don't know whether you can hear it or not. Cool, dreamy, melodic rock backing track in E minor from YT Jam Tracks. YT Jam Tracks, and that's a YT in capital letters. So there you go. Thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and getting us to 460 likes. It's very much appreciated. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night and live stream on Saturday night as well. So yeah, if you can tune in then, that'd be great as well, because we'll be going for a new record on a Saturday night, which is going to be something crazy. Like 525 or 530, I don't know, but yeah, a huge number. So the more people we can get watching, the better. So yeah, thank you. Oh, Dean says that was great without the backings. So maybe, yeah, you could only hear me. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Now it's a shame if you couldn't hear the backing, because then you wouldn't get the relevance of what I'm playing. So yeah, maybe I'll have to try and figure something out. I wonder if it's possible to get the live stream or the guitar that I just played and get the audio from the cool, dreamy, melodic rock backing track in E minor and mix it, and then play it on the next live stream with the backing so that you could hear it. And maybe that's something that I could do, because it shouldn't take too long to do that. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Have a great rest of your week. All that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!